President MUHAMMDU Buhari departs Lagos for International Conference on Agriculture in Dakar. Nigeria is set to host Regional Digital Economy Conference. Federal Inland Revenue Service makes historic 10.1 trillion revenue in 2022. And on business, association demands immediate end to fuel scarcity. And on the international scene, Asian farm worker shoots 7 dead in California. And in sport, NAPO's Public Prosecution Office to probe Osimhen's deal extension. Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television News Channel. I'm Svtv. President MUHAMMDU Buhari will depart Lagos for Senegal, where he will attend the second edition of Dakar International Conference on Agriculture. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, discloses in a statement made available to newsmen on Monday. The high-level Dakar 2 summit, hosted by President Macky Sall of Senegal and the chairperson of the African Union, is held under the theme Feeding Africa, Food Sovereignty and Resilience. According to Mr. Adesina, the conference, which seeks to create favorable conditions for achieving food security in Africa, is convened jointly by the government of Senegal and the African Development Banks. He said there will also be side meetings to discuss agreement on the delivery of food and agriculture products in some countries, including Nigeria. He added that with Africa counting to 249 million, or a third of the 828 million hungry people in the world, the summit will be attended by Africa head of state and government, ministries of finance and agriculture, as well as several global development partners are expected to make commitment on eradicating hunger in Africa by 2030. The Nigerian Communication Commission said Nigeria is set to host the Regional Digital Economy Conference in the country. NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Mr. Rauben Mauka, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Dr. Mauka said policymakers and stakeholders in the digital economy ecosystem in the West Africa sub-region would converge in Abuja from January 31st to February 1st for the Digital Economy Regional Conference. He said they would converge to discuss the future of digital economy and intensify regional public-private partnership for the region. The event is being hosted by the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria in collaboration with the World Bank. The director said the theme of the conference is positioning West Africa's digital economy for the future, adding that the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Prof. Issa Fantami, will deliver a keynote address at the event. The Police Service Commission said the extension of the tenure of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, is a prerogative of President MUHAMMDU Buhari and not the Commission. Head of Press and Public Relations of the Commission, Ikechukwu Ani, said this in a statement in Abuja. Mr. Ani said the clarification followed a report in an online publication quoting a commissioner in the FSC, Lawal Bawa, as saying that it endorsed the tenure elongation for the IGP. He said although Mr. Bawa had since denied making the statement, it was important for the PSC to make a clarification so as to put the matter in proper perspective. Mr. Ani further stated that the Commission has not endorsed any tenure elongation for the current IGP, adding that the Commission was never contacted on the subject at any time. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has generated the highest tax collection ever of 10.1 trillion naira revenue in 2022. The service disclosed this in an FRS 2022 performance update report signed by its executive chairman, Mr. Muhammad Nani, and released to the public after his briefing with President MUHAMMDU Buhari. The FRS in the year 2022 collected a total of 10.1 trillion naira in both oil and non-oil revenues of 4.09 trillion naira and 5.96 trillion naira respectively, as against the target of 10.44 trillion naira. Companies' income tax contributed 2.83 trillion naira, value-added tax 2.51 trillion naira, electronic money transfer levy 125.67 billion naira, and earmarked taxes 353.69 billion naira. Non-oil taxes contributed 59% of the total collection in the year, while oil tax collection stood at 41% of total collection. According to the FRS, it is the first time the service will cross the 10 trillion naira mark in tax revenue collection. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Ehanire, said though the World Health Organization and other World Health bodies did not inform Nigeria of any deadly flu from China, the federal government is on the lookout for any occurrence. Dr. Ehanire announced this in Abuja during a ministerial bi-weekly meeting on the update of COVID-19 response and development in the country's health sector. According to the minister, whenever there is an outbreak of any flu or disease anywhere in the world, WHO will announce it to the world and send advisory on how it can be handled, but there is no such alert with the case of the strange flu. He said the foreign media outlets were also silent about the flu from China, an indication that the news making the round is a fabrication, saying the federal government is on the lookout for any suspicion. Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has accused the opposition and People's Democratic Party for breaching political peace in the state. The state APC's publicity secretary Yusuf Idris Gusau has in the press release stated that it was disheartening and unfortunate that the People's Democratic Party had refrained to call it hunt to order, especially at its critical campaign season and ahead of the 2023 general elections. Our correspondent Zainab Abdul-Wasiu has more.
Malam Yusuf further stated that PDP has not developed a new strategy of developing their talks along the road, where the APC campaign train is expected to follow, as they demonstrated in Maguru village of Karanamuda local government area, where they attacked part of the campaign motorcade, destroying vehicles including the state radio outside broadcast OB van, the state radio chairman's vehicle, Zarota vehicle and many other vehicles belonging to members and innocent commuters. The statement therefore warned that it was an unacceptable act capable of causing serious crisis in the state. Other than that, those behind the attack will be arrested and brought to face the consequences of their actions along with their sponsors. Zainab Abdul-Wasiu reporting for Standard Voice Television.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Zamfara State Command has arrested 4 suspected kidnappers who attempted the kidnapping of a 2-year-old baby at Ongwan's Chado of Gusau Metropolitan. This was contained in a statement signed by the command spokesperson Iko HASC and made available to newsmen in Gusau. Our correspondent Omokoso Muhammad has more.
The State Commandant Muhammad Bello Muazu, while parading the suspects at the State Command Headquarters Gusau, said that the suspects, who are mainly teens, were arrested in connection with attempted forceful kidnapping of a 2-year-old baby by name Hawa'u Masoud, whom the elder sister Khairi Shahibilu, 13 years, was carrying while running an errand in the area. According to the statement, at the process, one of the suspects, whom Khairi described to be wearing a black up-and-down clothes with spotted white, who was later identified as Muslim Sani, came and forcefully snatched the baby from her and ran into an uncompleted building where the other 3 accomplices were hibernating. The commandant said the elder sister to the kidnapped baby raised an alarm, which attracted the community members, who eventually tracked the kidnapped baby to the uncompleted building where the 4 suspects were arrested. The suspects, however, said that they were in the uncompleted building under the influence of drugs and marijuana and denied any knowledge of the said crime and claimed to be heavily dazed with opium and marijuana. The state commandant, however, reiterated that the suspects will be taken to court after investigation is concluded, advising parents to be vigilant and mindful of whereabouts of their children. Umukulthum Muhammad reporting for Standard Voice Television News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Abia has cautioned its staff members to shun sharp practices during the permanent voter card distribution. INEC Head Public Affairs Unit in Abia, Mr. Bamidele Oyetunji, issued the warning in an interview with newsmen in Aba on Monday. Mr. Oyetunji said the Commission frowns at receiving or demanding gratification from the public while performing their duties. Newsmen reported that some residents of Aba have accused some INEC officials of collecting 500 naira from prospective voters before issuing them their cards. The Abia State government declared Monday and Tuesday as public holiday to enable workers to collect their PVCs ahead of the general elections. And on business, The National Association of Energy Correspondents have called on government agencies responsible for regulation and supply to immediately arrest the worrisome fraud scarcity in the country. The Association Secretary John Maze, in a statement issued in Lagos, said the body of energy editors in Nigeria lamented that the development had brought untold hardship to Nigerians. The association said the several hours which sought to have been put into productive ventures were wasted in filling stations. The group, which hosted writers from online, print and electronic media organizations, specifically called for immediate supply liberalization of the domestic market. The association also called for joint management of the government-sponsored fraud subsidy scheme, visible and transparent supply monitoring dashboard, as well as effective regulation and monitoring of the internal fraud market. Figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria and money market indicators revealed that the maximum lending rate in the banking sector hit 29.13%, while saving deposit rate was 4.13% as of the end of December 2022. According to the report, prime lending rate was 13.85%, while interbank core rate was 12%. Treasury rate was 4.35%, 1 month deposit rate was 8.15%, 3-month deposit rate was 3.79%, 6-month deposit was 8.68%, while 12-month deposit was 8.22%. The National Institute for Credit Administration stated in its report, Blueprint Report for Growth, Development and Sustainability of Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises sector in Nigeria, that there was need to support businesses with single-digit loan as high interest rate was affecting economic growth. And on the international scene,
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
An Asian farm worker was in custody after 7 of his colleagues were killed in front of children at site in California, days after a mass shooting killed 11 people at a Lunar Year celebration near Los Angeles. The latest bloodshed to hit Asian Americans in California occurred at 2 farms around Half Moon Bay, a coastal community near San Francisco. San Mateo County Sheriff Christiana Corpus said 7 people were killed and 1 injured in a twin shooting, and that a 67-year-old Half Moon Bay resident named Chun-Li Zhao had been taken into custody. As the new tragedy unfolded, detectives at the southern end of the state were still probing what drove an elderly Asian immigrant to shoot dead 11 people gathered in celebrating at a suburban dance hall before taking his own life as police closed in. And on sports, the Napo Public Prosecution's Office has reportedly suggested a 6-month extension for their investigation into the transfer of Victor Osimhen from Lille to Napoli. The Nigerian forward joined the Partenope in September 2022 from the League One outfit in a deal worth €72 million plus €10 million in various add-ons. The transfer caught the attention of many at the time when it was revealed that around €20 million of the deal was made up through player exchanges. The Naples Public Prosecution's Office is investigating the Nigerian striker's move, believing that falsified capture gains may have been used in the deal. Meanwhile, Fabio Falqueri, Arguilla and Aurelio De Laurentiis' criminal lawyer is confident that Napoli will receive a favorable outcome in the investigation into Osimhen's transfer. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, here's a recap of the major headlines. President MUHAMMDU Buhari departs Lagos for international conference on agriculture in Dakar. Nigeria set to host regional digital economy conference. Federal Inland Revenue Service makes historic 10.1 trillion revenue in 2022. And on business, association demands immediate end to fuel scarcity. And on the international scene, Asian farm worker shoots 7 dead in California. And in sports, NAPO's Public Prosecution Office to probe Osimhen's deal extension. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Ibrahim. Do have a nice day.